Hello and welcome back to Yuli, to my studio, and I've got some great fun things today, which is just as well because it's still damp and cold and I don't like it out there, so it's great to be in here. So yeah, fun stuff. Okay, we're going to look at the blue jay bird, which we used in our illustration. Now, again, same reasons for using it. Very simple design, kind of clear areas of delineation that we can play with, and going to take it from there. So this is the outcome. Obviously nothing at all like a blue jay, but what we have is a collage where I have painted all the bits of paper that we've used and put it together in this way. So what we're going to do is going to take you through it. So what I did was I started with the blue jay drawing that I had already done here, and I used that one just straight away to start sticking onto there. Now you can just use your pen. You don't have to do the pen. You can use a pencil. I just like using the pen because it gives me just clearer areas that I'm going to work in. So the day before I did this, what I did was I took my paper and I took my inks and I had play. So on here you'll see I just painted blue, just straight up and down. And these paints are the same paints that are in your artist pack. So they're just these ones here. So yeah, just painted it straight up and down so I had something to start with. And you can see I've used a comb, a hair comb, and just gone through it like that so that you can see we've got some really nice textures on there. And then I did some lines on top. Now, what I did to make those lines was I used a bit of paint on a flat surface here. So I just kind of used the kind of slightly watered down paint so that I could have a little kind of puddle of it really. Then I just dipped into it and just kind of kept working it like that, dipping in and just like that. Just like that. And on other pieces, for instance this one, I just painted the purple straight up and down like that, and then I used things like paint lids and did exactly the same thing. So just dipping in and out like that, yeah. And you'll see that it kind of had a film of bubble over it from time to time where you've got kind of full blobs on there. So just tried different things. This side of a pen, I always have bits of pens. It looks like I haven't done a clear out, but actually I use them all the time. So, you know, like the whole bit there, that would have been what was on there. And yeah, just play, try, see what kind of comes up. The other one is I like to use white in places. White is very much overlooked. And again, this was the same thing. Into the red, you can see where it is on there. Into the red and just doing all of that. So it helps to keep it overnight so that it all dries out. Sometimes you'll find the paper will just kind of curl up like that. So just the next day when you have it, just kind of slightly curl it the other way, or stick it underneath something and just kind of flatten it out so that you've got something flat to work with. So there are those pieces. That's what I started with. I did actually use these pieces here, and I'll show you that in a minute. So where to start? I decided that I would start from here and work down because the feathers that would go here would sit on top of it like that. So if you imagine tiles on a roof, that's the kind of thing I was thinking about. So what I did then was, using the paper, I wanted something long and feathery, so I just kind of tried to keep it reasonably uniform and just tearing triangles like that. And you'll notice that I'm kind of flipping it from one side to the other. It just makes it easy so that they're all ending up roughly the kind of same length. So you can see where those have been used there. Now let me show you, as I've got a step-by-step bit here. Oh, where's the first one I wanted to show you? It'll be hiding. Here we go. This is what we want. So you can see on this is a photocopy of stage by stage. I took kind of images as I was going along so that I'd be able to illustrate to you, because as you can imagine, if I was doing this in real time, you'd have to have a few naps in between and lunch and probably dinner. So yeah, I just thought this is a much more practical way of showing you and demonstrating how to do it. So I've started up there because I know I'm going to have feathers on top of there, and I've just come really close to that boundary line. And starting, what did I do? I started at the bottom, and then worked on top like that. So very definitely like tiles on a roof, because that way you can see that you're overlapping one on top of another. You see, so that when you get up to there, we'll be then putting the purple on top like that. Okay, so that's the gist of that. So moving on to the next bit, what I wanted then was something which was different. So that had a nice kind of soft feathery edge. So what I did then was to cut out a piece across like that. It's useful if you cut a bit like that, and then you can cut triangles out of it like that, thin triangles, and you can see on here that that's what I've done on there, and they just overlap like that. So again, starting from the bottom and working upwards. I may have one here that, no, but what you will find is that when you're actually making it, like these were hanging over the edge, so then what I did was turn it upside down and then just nibble it away with the with the scissors to get a tidy line on there. Okay, so now I wanted to then move on to the eye. So what I did with the eye, come on Karen, get it together, because I had the eye, where did I have a picture of the eye separate? Or maybe I didn't. Well, let me just tell you that this eye is just a piece of the grey that I had painted. Where is it? This one. Okay, so the eye, I just cut out 2 eyes out of that, and then I used out of the black 2 little circles, and you'll notice if I take the real one up, you probably can see it better, is, how do we see, get the light on there the best, is that I've stuck that down, the light grey, and I took like a kind of like a pie slice or a cake slice out of there, out of the circle that I cut for his eye, so that it gives you that feeling of light bouncing off. It really does help. If you just do a circle, it's fine, but I just like to do that because it just gives a little bit more life to it. Okie dokie, so back to here. You can see also that from these, I used the grey for the top of the beak, and I used the chocolate brown for the bottom of the beak. Now, you'll see that there's actually a kind of grain on there. If I move that to there, I'm just wanting to get the light on there the best that I can. This isn't very, it's not showing as well as I would like. There, that's there, you can see it there a little bit better. So you can see the kind of the brush marks really that were on the paint, and I just think that that really helps to add a visual texture to it. And you'll see that this little, whoops, sorry about that, this little bit up here, just to give you that detail on the beak. Okay, so back to here. Then I worked on the kind of purpley bits. So these purple bits are out of here, and so all I did on those was to have exactly the same width all the way along, and then all I did was discard the excess and just cut out leaf shapes, feather shapes, almond shapes, eye shapes, whatever you want to call them. And you'll see on there, I'll just turn that over, that they are what has gone on onto this area here. Let's hold that up a bit better so that you can see it a bit closer. So all these are quite large ellipses or kind of leaf shapes on there, and I've just kind of spread them, like fanned them out, and then I've used much smaller ones on this area here, and also just used smaller pieces and just filled that area in. So what I've concentrated on is kind of working around the eye and getting things to fit the eye. So sometimes I will actually have curved